applied. Through this one story, the Taliabo saw that God ruled over both Israel and Egypt. He was also holy, judging those who determined to go their own way.
On the Passover that we were visiting to the coast and found this camp. He said, well, we don't have any sheep around here, and I didn't think that pig's blood would be right. So I hiked down to the coast and found this can of red paint. You know, just to be sure. During the years of language study and through the teaching, we couldn't get away from a sense of urgency. We wanted to share the Bible's message as intensely as the Taliabo wanted to hear it. It was during the teaching of the Passover that time ran out for one man. He died of tuberculosis.
As he lay dying, he called out for the Passover lamb, but he wasn't calling to the animal. He said, I'm not calling out for help from my ancestors or from the demons. I'm calling only on the one that God promised to send. He is my Passover lamb. It's something I will never forget. His simple faith reaching out to the Lord.
As we taught through the law, the Taliabo listened in utter silence. Never had they been so quiet.
When I first heard this, I was troubled. So this was God's law. Now we knew that He did not want us to worship other gods. He did not want us to lie, steal, or murder. He did not want us to take other men's wives. When I heard the 10 Commands, I was afraid.
Initially, the Taliabo were thinking that the commandments were a list of rules they had to keep to please God.
Right at this time, a number of men came to our homes visibly shaken. They said, we're in real trouble with God. We murdered a man, hacked him to pieces. But we didn't know God's law back then. Now that we know God's commands, we won't break any of them anymore.
The Bible teaches that the 10 Commandments reveal God's holiness, that it is impossible for us to keep them perfectly. The real purpose of the law is to show us that we are helpless sinners.
Only a few weeks later, these same men came back and said, oh, we're in deep trouble. Now we know God's laws, but we still don't obey them. The 10 Commandments had brought them to the point of seeing themselves as helpless sinners, just as God's Word said it would.
We continued teaching through the Old Testament and on into the Gospels, where the Taliabo first heard of Jesus Christ. They loved Him from the start.
So, God had come to live with us men, as a man,